How's it going, everyone? Lunar here, and in today's video I want to go over how to be a better rifler in CSGO. So I hope you all enjoy this video and it helps you all out. There are three main things that come into play when using a rifle in CSGO. The first one being pure skill, and crosshair placement and aim really go along with this. The second one being movement. Strafing really goes along with this, especially when talking about rifling. And game sense, when to burst, tap shot, or spray, and there is of course more that goes along with game sense, but the main things are those when it comes to actually being a better rifler. So the main things you have to work on to become a better rifler in CSGO is crosshair placement, aim, strafing, and overall game sense. Like I said before, having a great crosshair placement is like setting yourself up for success. The easiest way to remember head height in CSGO is to line your crosshair placement up with the middle of the wall. I'll show you an example with this now because the way I explain that is kind of confusing, but about the middle of any wall or corner is the head height. So as an example, if you're holding an angle and waiting for someone to push, then hold the angle with your crosshair about the middle height of the corner or door opening or whatever you're near. There are some cases you have to adjust for change in height, like on overpass when people push out of monster or when people push B long on cobblestone. So keep that in mind. That is just an easy way for you all to remember where head height is. The next thing is aim. Aim plays one of the biggest factors in CSGO. If you have incredible aim and can win every gunfight, there is a huge chance you will easily rank up. Aim being one of the biggest factors, you always need to practice and warm up. Warming up will help tremendously with consistency throughout your games. The more you practice, the better you're going to get, and there are two great ways to practice aim, and that is joining a community deathmatch server and practicing on a community made map like this one I'm on now. This specific one is by YPrac, but I'll leave a link to that down in the description for you all to download if you want to check it out. But it's always best, in my opinion, to hop in a community made map first, and this specific one has really nice warm-up routines which are really great and can help a ton with getting used to your mouse movements and getting used to your mouse when you first get on the game. From there, hopping into community deathmatch server helps tremendously because then you're putting all that movements and crosshair placement and everything to the test and actually practicing that with other people, and with that you get a feel of how people play and can adjust your aim and crosshair placement accordingly. The third thing is strafing. I'm going to go over this very briefly, but strafing can help a ton, especially when in an open gunfight. Strafing back and forth and hitting the opposite key from the direction you're moving, it stops you dead in your tracks and makes your shots accurate for a brief period of time. The reason why knowing how to strafe is important, it's because it makes you a harder target to hit and makes your opponent have to adjust their aim more, ultimately helping you win gunfights in a lot of scenarios. For the final thing to improve your aim comes down to game sense, and this gets improved by playing more often. With having better game sense, it really helps you with assessing situations on whether or not you should spray someone down, whether or not you should tap shot, whether or not you should burst fire, whether or not you should jiggle peek a corner, or just strafe, or wide peek the corner. These are all things that play a huge part in gunfights, and having the game sense decide what to do and when will help tremendously, especially when it comes to tap shotting, spraying, and bursting. If you find yourself always spraying, I really challenge you to think more when you get into a gunfight, and whether you win or lose the gunfight afterwards, take a second to think whether or not you should have tap shotted, bursted, or spraying was a good option. And if you did die, think about why you didn't get that kill and what could have helped. And with this, and analyzing your game right after or while you're doing it can help tremendously, and always thinking, of course, helps a lot. That way you're not going on autopilot and just making dumb decisions. But overall, these are the main things that come into play when becoming a better rifler in CSGO, and the main things you should always work on and keep in mind when playing CSGO. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to hit that like button down below to let me know. Overall, my name is Lunar, and I'll catch you all with a Fortnite video later today.